Hello there and welcome to our live session. I am Ajay Almeida, India's first boundary coach, and I'm here to help you to navigate through stress. Today's topic is where we'll be helping you to navigate through workplace stress. Precisely, I'll help you with three powerful strategies which you can use today itself in your life to reduce stress in your workplace. How many of you would like that to happen in your workplace? So, if you're a coach, business owner, therapist, or a working professional in a corporate world, go ahead and type me in the comments if you want to know three practical ways by means of which you can reduce workplace stress. Thank you for putting in those comments. Now, I also want you to tag some people, quickly just tag some people who will benefit from this live session. Go ahead and do that. Let's spread this wave of healing. This session is absolutely free. Go ahead and do that. Okay, now let's tune in to today's session. I'm going to give you a visual representation of what happens when you're in stress and how boundaries can be those protective mechanisms that can help you not to absorb that stress and live your life at the ultimate. Be a winner in your workplace. And also share with you a success story of one of my clients who was going through tremendous workplace stress, went through depression, and then with boundaries, she was able to rebound and reclaim her life. So let's dive deep in. This is going to be very interesting. Now, if you can see my screen, then go ahead and type S in the comments. If you can see my screen right now. All right. Awesome. Great. Now, I want you to take a look at the screen and you can see a balloon there. Imagine this balloon is your nervous system. Now, your nervous system is the one system that rules it all. It is what I call as the master system. Your nervous system goes weak, you have all sorts of problems. And can you imagine what can affect your nervous system? You don't have to imagine. That's right. It's stress. So, stress is anything that causes your nervous system to feel as if you're under threat. Stress is anything that causes your nervous system to feel as if you're in threat, as if you're in a threat. Now, because your nervous system has been developed from millions of years, your nervous system has evolved only to do two things. One, either to tell you that you're safe, or two, to tell you that you are under threat. Now, if you can imagine this balloon to be your nervous system, then I want you to tell me, what does this look like in the context of your workplace? And I'm sure you and I have gone through this experience. Maybe some of us have gone through this experience today itself. The crushing deadlines, the toxic bosses, the toxic work colleagues, and sometimes your own toxic thoughts about yourself. How you beat yourself through people pleasing and other attitudes, other dysfunctional attitudes, you beat yourself up. This is what happens to your nervous system when you are stressed. Now, if you go through this kind of a stress on a day to day basis, we call that as a chronic stress. And in no time, what do you think is going to happen to the balloon? It's going to burst. That's right. And that's when you have a nervous breakdown. And with that nervous breakdown, you have a breakdown of other systems as well, because we are an integrated system. When one system breaks down, others also break down. Your hormonal system goes for a toss, your mental health goes down, your physical health goes down, your digestion, your breathing patterns, everything is related to your nervous system. Now, what can protect your nervous system? Because you can't stop stress from happening. There will be situations that will call you, there will be challenging situations that will call out the best in you. But whether you give your best or your worst depends on the health of your nervous system. And that can happen only if you have a boundary. So, a boundary is that protective line which is going to protect your nervous system from anything external and sometimes even your internal intrusive thoughts. So, think of boundaries as that protective fence that can protect your nervous system. If this definition of boundary makes sense to you, then go ahead and type yes in the comments. Let's make this very interactive. And also, why don't you take some time right now to tag someone, because I don't want anybody to miss this amazing content right now. Brilliant. Let's move ahead. Okay. Now, if boundaries protect your nervous system, then how do we do that? Let's define boundaries very quickly. I know in the last live I've defined it, but this time I want to go a little bit deeper. So, boundary is that protective fence, is that psychic or mental fence which protects your time, energy, money, resources, priorities, values, ideology, feelings, and opinions from any external or internal pressures. So this boundary is what protects you. Now look at everything that is within this circle. How valuable is all of that? From a scale of 1 to 10, tell me how valuable is your time? I'm sure you'll put a 10. All of these are a tenors. All of these are tenors. And you have the right to protect them. Maybe nobody taught you that, but you have the right to protect them. And what protects them are boundaries. And I'm going to give you three important boundaries today. Now, before we go there, I want you to share with me in the comments whether today you were stressed at your workplace or whether today the major stress that you received was in your personal life. If it's your personal life, just write P. If it was in your workplace, just write W in the comments. Thank you for putting in that. All right, now let me share with you three powerful tools by means of which you can set boundaries. I hope you can see me also on the screen right now. Some of you were getting a little bored, I think, by not seeing me. I'm a very interesting guy, I know. Okay, let's move ahead. So, I'm going to give you these practical tools. Number one, if you are a working professional, a coach, a counselor, a therapist, or even a doctor, a medical professional, then you definitely need this. Number one, time blocking. This tool is where I teach my clients to create focused chunks of time. So, for example, for me, the best time is 1 to 3 and 4 to 7. I know that I'm at my best around this time. So, what I do is if I want to make any creative work or if there is a urgent and a very important project for me, then I have these times which I don't keep them available for anyone. And I inform people in advance. So create focused chunks of time for yourself. Now don't complain to me that you don't have the freedom to do this in your workplace. You have to own that freedom. Until and unless you own that freedom, it's not going to come to you. Fight for what is right. That's right. So focus chunks of time. Number one, create focused chunks of time. The non-negotiable timings where you don't entertain anybody's message, emails, or calls. You're not available for anyone. These are your non-negotiable chunks of time. This is where you do your massive major work. If you do this, if you create a time boundary for a focused chunk of time, then you will realize that you will have power over your time. Nobody else will. This is massively important if you're an IT professional, especially if you're an IT or a medical professional. It's important for everybody, but especially for those people who are under high stress jobs. Number two is what I call as a pause and reflect rule. Now, in this pause and reflect rule, what I do is if anybody comes to me with a request or they need my time or they need my expertise for something, I always have this rule where I do not immediately say yes. I used to do that before. I was an overcommitter, somebody who would always give their time and energy and sometimes even money for someone who needs me. I know that that was a recipe for drain, and so I stopped it the moment I realized that when I was at my life's lowest. I may have shared before that I was suicidal. There was a time when I was depressed, and the cause of my depression was because I was an overgiver, a people pleaser, somebody who was a fixer, somebody who was a peacemaker. You all know how stressful that is, and especially in the work, in your job or in your business, this is a recipe for failure. So what you do is you pause and reflect. You don't give an immediate yes, and you don't even give an immediate no. You take some time and ask these two questions. Simple. Do I have the bandwidth to do this? And second, will this cause me stress later? If the answer is, do I have the bandwidth? No. And will this cause stress later? Yes. Then that's it. Your answer is no. I'm sorry, I cannot do this for you. As simple as that. There's no need to give reasons. So pause and reflect rule. Everybody, if you're clear on this, just put P and R. P and R. Pause and reflect. Pause and reflect. Now, number three, set expectations in the beginning. If you're a people pleaser, this is where you have your massive problem. You do not set expectations in the beginning itself. You take up a project, you take up a task, you help someone, and then you realize that this is causing you overwhelming stress and this is destroying everything. How many of you have lost some wonderful relationships because you overcommitted and then you were not able to follow through the commitment? Type me in the comments. Admittance and acceptance are the gateways to healing. Yes. So, how do you set expectations in the beginning? Before you say yes, Pause and reflect. And then, if you have to say yes, if you know that this is going to be something that is lucrative for you, this is something that's not going to cause you stress later on, and you have the bandwidth to do it, then in your workplace, set the expectation. You can say something like this: I am with you on this project and I'm interested in helping you in this project. However, I want to inform you that I do not entertain calls or emails after 6 p.m. How many of you heard of the right to disengage? So there is this rule in Australia where the employees have this power to not receive calls after a particular working time. The right to disengage. You can take up this right for yourself. Again, don't complain to me. No, Ajay, in my work environment, this doesn't happen. You need to take the lead to make this happen. Now, if there are those of you who find it very difficult, I will give you an opportunity to connect with me one to one. There are three more spots left. You can connect with me one to one. You can DM me, or you can fill the form in the comments and in the description and connect with me, where I will help you. I will sit with you. I'll talk to you. I'll find out how best I can help you to implement boundaries in your workplace. So, yes, set expectations in the beginning. Tell them right from the beginning what's possible for you, what's not possible for you. This is hard for a people pleaser. Believe me, do this and you will experience freedom. Boundaries promote freedom. Now, tell me, what boundary do you struggle with the most in a high pressure environment? Is it saying no? Is it taking breaks? Do let me know in the comments. What do you specifically struggle with? Let's make this very real, this live very real for you. Is it in saying no, or is it in taking breaks? Or what is something that you struggle with in your workplace? Type in the comments right away. Now, while you're typing in the comments, let us also move ahead, and I'm going to share with you a success story. Now, Kavita came to me this was around 6 months back. Kavita came to me when she was highly stressed. She had lost her appetite, she didn't find joy in her work, and she was very, very stressed. She had lost weight as well. Not a good thing, because she was looking absolutely miserable even in her own standards. I've changed her name because that's our confidentiality agreement. So, Kavita comes from an IT background. She was 29 years old 6 months back when she came in, just celebrated her birthday yesterday. And that's where I took her consent to talk about this story. Now, Kavita was not able to say no. She had a problem saying no because she felt that she had to perform, and perform till you deform. She had to perform all the time. She had to prove to people. She would take up calls even after workplace, like many of you are doing right now, and she would bring work home. And she felt that this is what made her feel important, and this is what would probably give her value in her workplace. But you all know the story. This does not give you any value. When you show yourself, when you have such weak boundaries that you show yourself to be someone who is always available, you will not be rewarded. You'll not be seen, you'll not be rewarded, and just don't think about promotion at all. Respect goes hand in hand with your availability, that is, your selective availability. Those people who have a protocol, like I spoke about yesterday, those people who tell people how they can be treated, are the ones who will be respected and are the ones who will be seen and rewarded. So I helped Kavita through our 6 months program called as Build Experience. I helped her in this 6 weeks, although it took her a little bit longer time because she had deeper patterns. Within the fifth week, Kavita was able to navigate her workplace boundaries. She was able to navigate her workplace by setting healthy boundaries. What Kavita did first was she set expectations, and she set an expectation with herself. It was difficult for her to convince herself that if I can be a good employee without breaking my back. How many of you have gone through that experience? Type me in the comments. So Kavita was able to set healthy boundaries. She was able to reclaim herself. Happy to tell you that just a day before her birthday, she also received the news that she is a star performer now. And that's not just a star on your blazer, but it's also being rewarded to her in the form of a 2 times promotion, literally a 2x promotion, which is a big thing for Kavita, because for the last 1 year she was not getting promoted. She's a star performer, no doubt. She's a high ranking, I would say high ranking, because her work speaks, but her work was not seen. How many of you have that experience? Your work speaks, but your work is not seen. Someone else takes up the glory and you continue working. So Kavita has left that club now. She is now at a point where She's recognized, she's rewarded, and she feels powerful. She's broken the people pleasing pattern. She is now on a boundary summit, I would say. So she's great. She's doing very well right now. Not only has she commanded respect, but that respect has come back to her also in terms of a good promotion package. How many of you would like to have a story like Kavita? Type me in the comments. If you're still with me, let's move ahead. I have 3 spots left for my consultation. You can DM me, or you can just type in your name and my team will get back to me. Or you can just click on the link in the description or in the comments and you can get to me. I'm here to help you to set healthy boundaries. Boundaries can save lives. If Anna Sebastian knew the power of boundaries, she would know when to exit that work environment that ultimately caused her to die. This is very serious, my friends. I'm on a mission to make sure that no one has to go through what our dear Anna went through. If you're with me on this mission, type in mission in the comments. Why I'm asking you to type in all of this? Because this engagement is going to draw more people towards this particular message. I'll be connecting you tomorrow as well, where we are going to go a little bit more deeper into boundaries. But right now, if you feel that you have the time and this is your time to create a change in your life, then fill up that form and get to me. I'm here to sit with you and help you to sort out and create healthy boundaries in your life. Boundaries promote freedom, and there is no need for guilt. Let us help your subconscious mind to create boundaries for you so that this becomes a second nature for you. If you would like to know that, then go ahead and type in your name or just DM me. This is Ajay Almeida signing off. Thank you for being here, everyone. Thank you for being here. Whether you're watching me on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook, I am grateful that you have taken this time to listen about boundaries. Let me know which one was your favorite, which technique would be your favorite. Get back to me after a week also. Visit this thread and let me know which technique worked well for you. This is Ajay Almeida signing off. Thank you. Thank you very much.